Welcome to the No Clue Podcast. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Tyler.
I'm Mike.
So, Super Bowl 58 has passed.
Dang.
Is it 58?
Dang, I didn't know it was that high, but I think so.
Yeah. Kansas City Chiefs victorious again. 3 titles in 6 years now. Since Patrick Mahomes has been starting, three titles. 49ers, man. What do you think?
That was heartbreaking for them.
It was.
Because a lot of those guys were there a few years ago when they lost to the same team.
To the same guy.
This time, yeah. But this time, like, they had the game.
Yeah, they looked really strong in the first half.
And there was even moments, like, I know the Chiefs came back, but to me, this was still a game the Niners lost, like, as much as the Chiefs won.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. Some major mistakes, major blunders at times.
Yes.
The blocked extra point, the muffed punt, things like that is just very, very unfortunate.
And I'd never seen a punt like muffed that way.
Hitting somebody's foot like that?
Where the guy that's trying to block ends up like the ball accidentally falls, on him. I've never really seen that as a problem.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a freak thing. I think I've seen it maybe once, but not often. It is definitely a freak thing there. The NFL gods are definitely watching over this game for sure. Because
the momentum completely flipped on that play.
It did. So, what did you think of the first half?
I thought both teams looked very nervous.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fumbles early on, a lot of poor execution, a lot of heated sidelines.
He's created that mystique and
notably Kelsey losing his mind.
Might not even know how big it is.
They fake it to McCaffrey. On the rollout, he is
that was so
his
crazy.
Man. It's Juszczyk
for him to
with a hurdle out near the 50.
Yeah.
It started very slow.
It did.
Purdy, given time, across the middle, he's got McCaffrey for another first down.
The 49ers were moving in the beginning.
He's going to come after him today at some point.
It was definitely worrisome for Kansas City fans. Kansas City Chiefs fans should have been really worried how easily they were moving it, how dominant McCaffrey was in the first half, which was strange because on paper, the Chiefs actually only they held him to a really low, only 3.6 yards per carry. And then, but watching it, it felt like he was eating.
The first signal is a Chief recovery.
The whole time.
Well, the ball's
and then here we have this devastating fumble.
Does come up with it.
It was kind of uncharacteristic of him because he's so strong.
Mahomes
he's
dancing around, finds McKinnon.
Probably the best running back in the league.
He's going to be hammered by Greenlaw again. Fred Warner.
And then the Chiefs just really couldn't get. It seemed like they just couldn't get momentum the whole first half.
The biggest moments, it's like him and Brady and everyone else.
4-0 in the Super Bowl, 3-time MVP.
They did.
Brady goes across the middle.
You feel the whole time
tackled down by Reed at about the 42-yard line.
But they weren't safe.
Yes. It felt like there was a switch to be flipped for Kansas City. They just didn't flip it yet.
Flag down.
And the thing is,
for the Niners to kind of
first
get
down,
better,
depending on the flag,
and start to execute better.
Offense number 71.
The opposite.
10-yard penalty.
Right.
Repeat second down.
Right.
So Trent Williams, the first-team All-Pro left tackle, has been flagged.
Even when Kansas City,
it's on your left side of your screen right
when the 49ers started looking like they were going to play well, then the Chiefs made one really nice defensive play, a really nice defensive stop. You're like, okay, there's the Chiefs. But then 49ers came right back and still looked like they were moving up the field pretty well. So neither team really got momentum on either end, it seemed like.
He's got a first down
in the first half.
On first down, trouble.
Isaiah Pacheco did absolutely nothing in this game.
To him first.
That was like,
and he's already got a couple of big tackles.
I shouldn't say it was surprising.
The last time they had it.
It was surprising on his part, but it wasn't surprising that like the 49ers
and he tucks it under.
I'm not surprised that their defense was good, but I was surprised that the Chiefs couldn't find like anything opening.
Yeah, I mean, the Niners kept Kelsey in check early on.
2nd and 2.
Yeah, they did.
That little pause, that little hesitation, and then
what do you think
bolt up the middle for
was the big shift when it comes to Kelsey? Was it the defense getting tired? Was it the Chiefs switching up some of their sets, their game plan? What do you think? Why do you think Kelsey got open later on?
Again, they give him the time, and he's got the pass threaded
executed the short
to Ray McLeod. And they move the football into Kansas City territory.
There were a few beauties.
Very well executed.
3rd and 14, starting the second. Purdy steps away from the heat. Heaves it. And it's knocked away at the last moment.
It wasn't Kelsey making crazy plays.
Able to defend it on Debo.
Involved in the game plan.
If he makes it 55 yards, 54 was the record.
Again, to me, a lot of
Christie and Mooney, the rookie,
yards after the catch,
nails it. A Super Bowl record
passes for
from
kind of
55
maybe a
out.
5 situation.
3rd and less than 1.
So
it's Rice with the carry, and he has the
Kansas
first.
City's
The ball came out.
The game
It ended up in the hands of Justin Watson.
They needed that other weapon on the outside.
And poise. Even though Kelsey didn't show much of it, everyone else did.
Rolls out and going deep. Going deep.
Were you shocked when they showed Kelsey like assaulting Andy Reid on the side?
Yeah. The fact that he shoved it, like kind of shoved him, was wild.
Sets him up at the 9. 1st and goal. Pacheco cuts it outside. Tries to do it a second time. And he
like really made legitimate physical contact.
How big of a play was the Pacheco fumble?
This Niners flying around defense right now.
Just we're taking over at the 8-yard line.
For sure.
Yeah, I thought it was really major because Kansas City could have scored the first touchdown in this game.
Trying to get
they were right there. They were doing something.
There is a flag coming in for that.
That
caught Andy Reid by surprise.
And 49ers really got momentum off of that. I think their offense got momentum.
Here's a 3rd and 8
from that big defensive stop.
And they get to him.
What do you think?
Early turnovers, like we said.
Reed comes up.
This game is slow.
And for the Niner Nation, he's a big part of this defense. 3rd and 16.
How do you feel?
And again, Mahomes able to get away at first.
Like a weird nervousness.
And finally brought down by Eric Armstead. The blueprint, they call him.
How do you feel about
see what he dials up here on 2nd and 10.
Run game being kind of neutralized by Kansas City?
Gets walloped twice, but holds on.
Surprise me.
For a gain of about 12.
Yeah, me either.
All the fun.
Honestly, I was surprised the Niners scored as
out
much
on
as they
2nd
did.
and 4. McCaffrey, his leg's okay as he takes a defender with him.
Because the Chiefs' defense have been great all year.
Again, it's Mitchell.
Yeah, but the Niners have.
Grabs with both
arms. They have a lot of talent. But they very rarely put it together.
Legarius Sneed.
That's why I thought like the Chiefs' experience would really neutralize McCaffrey specifically, and you saw that the effort was there to slow them down.
Oh, this ball's in the air for a long time. McCaffrey's able to put it down, and he's going in for the touchdown.
He did.
Jawan Jennings with a touchdown.
He was getting touched a lot up until this trick play touchdown. Every other run he had, he was facing a lot of contact.
2nd and 2.
But it still seemed like he was.
That's a first down carry.
They were getting what they were trying to get.
And you're leaving one-on-one with Bosa.
Like they were getting places with him. I felt like he was really
coming around the corner. Holmes able to slip out of it.
So they scored a touchdown off the trick play, which was fantastic.
Watson for a first down at the 39-yard line.
Fantastic play
2 yards away from a first.
Were you worried at all when it was 10-0? How do you feel about that at this point right here?
Rice.
I wasn't worried.
Finally brought down by Logan Ryan.
Too much time. Mahomes track record.
To Rice.
It ain't like Mahomes comeback
on the coverage and the tackle.
I'm with him. You know it's a zone. Kelsey, go up in the middle and work on Fred.
I expected him to at least make the game close.
And gets pancaked by
He
Armstead.
missed a lot of guys on this game overall. We'll get to that later.
And Kansas City is on the board.
The big play happens, but he missed some guys throughout this game.
Well, the first half of the
so third quarter comes.
And the ball is on
they have
the
a couple
ground.
weird
Pacheco swung down at the
plays like
11-yard line. What a brutal
Pacheco,
beginning to the second half for Kansas City.
Drops the pitch there.
Entire game because you've got two guys dominating right there.
3rd and 12. Stepping up and lofts it. He is picked
off. And then the interception, the Patrick Mahomes interception. 13-30 for the audio listeners. We're watching the highlights for the audio listeners.
I was nervous here.
Purdy being chased.
You were nervous after the interception?
Caught by Willie Gay.
But I don't think we saw it. We just cut
the 49ers did not score on those two takeaways. You're 2nd and 10.
Oh, we cannot give that up.
That is Kelsey.
Yeah, what was it?
He drives for the
first. I want to say it was a hold. Because
I agree with you, Jimmy. You may change an aspect, get the challenge back, it's going to get the time out.
Look how tight they are. They're ready for an inside run.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And they're, in fact, right there to pounce on them.
Every penalty the Niners had killed.
That's why you need a second play. You can't go for this now.
Really did. It really did. There were some really bad penalties in here. The Snead fight early on was really bad.
Was there contact? Connor on the coverage of Kittle.
The Niners
has been held without a catch.
For a lot of
the former 49er in Richie James. And it's first down for Mahomes and company.
No pass interference calls in this game.
And we've got our first down of the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really see any to really expect it. I thought both sides covered
Mahomes
relatively well.
Keeps it.
They did.
And
here it is. This is when I knew the game was over. Right here. This next
rusher in the postseason is Patrick Mahomes.
Watch how Mahomes gets up.
He's got 10, 15, 20, 22 yards on the run.
See how he tossed the ball right there? That was like, these guys can't guard me. That was this. I got this. I figured him out. And then watch this face right here.
Before it's finally ended by Logan Ryan.
Right there.
Pulled the helmet.
Ball game. I'm like, when I was watching, I'm like, it's over. Mahomes got him. He got him. He took their heart. Like Draymond said, he took. Draymond took his heart. That was it right there. Because at this point, I mean, they punt on this,
and the Niners are up.
And then the muff punt is coming up. But after this, the momentum, you could just see Kansas City just had something. The switch officially got flipped at that point.
They like to go to Jennings sometimes on 3rd down as
and it's not like
down the field, and that was intended
San Francisco didn't still play pretty well, but I think Kansas City just started playing better. Mahomes, using his legs in this game was basically saved the game
for a touchdown
in a lot of ways.
I will say, in one comparison that makes Purdy look bad, you felt how much better
he touched it. It's a fumble, and it's a recovery by Kansas City.
Both quarterbacks had to escape.
And now set up in the red zone. Trying to take the lead. Mahomes goes for it right away.
Yeah, I think his vision was better, and I think he just picked when to do it better than Purdy. Because there was times
the
there was
Chiefs
like,
have their first lead
Purdy
in the
should
Super
just
Bowl.
run this. But he didn't do it. And Mahomes, I think, picked the right times. He had a lot of space.
Got his target.
Because in the first half of these, there really wasn't a lot of chances for Mahomes to run.
It seems anyway.
The second half started getting opened up a little bit more.
Use check
for everybody, but
got the first down.
Let's see who wins the chess match.
1st and 10 to start the 4th. Purdy down the middle, open.
I'm surprised they didn't pick Purdy off at all.
Second catch is a big one. As Reed tries to rip it out of his hands, but that's not happening.
Mistake they made, the Chiefs immediately
led the league in average yards per catch as Purdy
on both ends.
It goes long to the end zone.
And they were getting to Purdy on all the long balls, all the plays that seemed like they were going to be. I shouldn't say long, but medium pass plays, they got to Purdy and made it really difficult for him.
And that's a great example why he led the league this year, not only in rushing, but first in the league.
Now, there is
rushing before contact. Going to go back.
The Niners go for
use check. The fullback leading the way as McCaffrey tries to go outside. He lost a yard.
Was it the Kittle on that outside?
That's the ball from Shanahan.
Yeah, that was huge. That was one of the biggest plays of the game.
It's Kittle, and I think he's short.
Yeah, that was arguably the biggest play of the game.
That was
like the biggest successful play.
Niners just like that play you showed from Mahomes.
1 second on the play clock.
The Niners in that moment matched his intensity.
Caught! Jennings!
Yeah, that was huge, yeah.
Because right here they capitalized, and it's like, okay,
now he's thrown for a touchdown and caught another.
We're still
all out pressure.
Yeah.
17 of his 25 catches is Moody. Extra point. Oh my goodness, no! It is blocked.
That was they could have easily tied the game with a field goal.
How big is that now? A 3-point game.
And then we got the block.
He knows the game at a high level, and he has really helped them right now have this lead.
3rd and 10.
And then everything after this, everything kind of started looking easy for Kansas City.
And 2nd and 10.
One of those
9 minutes to go.
Wide open, great route.
Wide open.
Yep.
It's Watson.
And then that's Watson, I think.
Yeah, Watson had a nice game. He was he made a number of big plays.
Coming up, Kelsey basically shatters the 49ers player's shoulder with his
12 yards out.
Is this it? No, it's after this.
Pacheco again up the middle.
That's Pacheco's best run right there.
Boy, there was
best run in the entire game. It was only for like 8 yards.
Both of these teams proved their year to me. But this game, every time they got nervous, they didn't fall away from the run game.
In trouble, and he's taken down at the 6.
Both sides could have easily fell back on Mahomes or fell back on
the effort on this D-line.
And they
makes that stop.
The run game.
Brings out Butker now to try to tie it from 24 yards.
I tell you what,
and
Mahomes is clearly MVP.
Not at 16.
But Butker should get the game ball.
Going up top right away.
Butker was huge.
Jennings!
Absolutely huge.
What a game he's
Super Bowl
having.
record for distance.
What a drive starter it is,
57 yards.
Played the game
that was incredible.
In some ways today. Couldn't come
Jennings, by the way, for the Niners.
It's 10. It's Debo.
He did. He like, for them, if they had won, McCaffrey should get MVP. He would get the game ball. He would be like second because he made some really spectacular plays.
Running.
Extra effort plays.
McCaffrey will pick it up with ease. Now it's interesting to see how they use the clock.
He needs to
play the game, 3rd and long 4, and they blitzed, and they forced the incompletion. McDuffie.
It's like the Niners, it's the reason they haven't been back.
Moody's kick. Oh, it's good. All the way.
Wow, that was incredibly clutch. You'd love to see anybody else.
The Niners kicker, by the way, matched Butker.
Across the middle. Kelsey.
He did.
He's got 11 and a first.
If he didn't get blocked,
this play was not a first down, so now Mahomes has
it really would have been even. Butker just had
Mark Kelsey short.
Buckers were bigger because they were down.
Gray running to the 49-yard line.
This game, how
the Greenlaw injury coming in. I'm not sure what they said happened. Was it Achilles?
And they're trying to strip it.
Looked like
he holds on. And they're already basically in.
That was crazy. Just basically celebrating on the sideline. Like that's
dump it off. McKinnon.
Such a freak accident.
Boom.
I've never seen anything like that.
3rd and 7.
Here's the Kelsey one where he basically shatters this guy's shoulder. 27.
With 9 seconds to go.
His shoulder, Kelsey just so big and strong. He basically shattered
coming down to the last plays. Low snap.
And then this is the miss. Rasheed Rice missed there.
See how quick he got rid of it?
Rasheed Rice went and told Patrick Mahomes a little bit about
no way it ends like this, does it?
That was an interesting discussion.
Butker's kick is good.
But
he was up the middle, wide open.
Okay.
I don't know if he was wide open.
Overtime from Las Vegas.
I mean, Mahomes could have got it, but I don't think every quarterback could have got him. But it is Mahomes. He's open for Mahomes.
Purdy takes it, drops back.
The thing is, you got to.
Knocked down.
Rice is a rookie, isn't he? Yeah,
it just came out of his hand. I think a little awkwardly.
They got nothing.
I doubt he completes
moving forward.
There's a penalty. This is on the Chiefs. I think they were holding it. It looked like no one could tell.
There's a flag down at the 38-yard line.
Right. And then this was probably the call of the game. That holding call was really rough.
punting situation.
And guess who it is that got it? Jennings.
It was legit.
Who's having the game.
It was legit. And he sold it.
Side, third and 2.
Not like a
as
right.
Purdy flings it. Got the first. IU.
The receiver there, he really sold it, and he drew it.
That close his eyes.
Right.
Second and 6. The Son in trouble.
Oh, what a play.
Flings it to McCaffrey.
Big McCaffrey play there.
High stepping and pushed out by Snead.
Really well
what a play.
They did.
Trying to settle the push.
So here in overtime,
12. Purdy.
49ers have the ball.
Time and then had to go outside.
This is when Brock goes out to the right, and that was a huge play as well. Huge. And then
he didn't catch it. Juszczyk is the receiver.
Right now, their 2 best defenders are guarding your 2 best wide receivers.
Yeah.
McCaffrey
He's
in motion.
athletic, yeah. I'm not sure if
Chiefs in on
that's
Purdy
why
so fast he had
when we
to
were
just
talking about
unload
them
it.
in the first half.
So
I'm
the
not sure
drive
Mahomes is more of
stalls.
an athlete or just he just has better vision. So he knows when he can do it.
Today, this is half that
Even,
distance.
every time Mahomes runs,
27 yards. He makes it.
Really huge.
Get up there on him.
Really huge.
Up ahead.
When Mahomes does run, he usually gets what he wants.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th down, and it comes down to this
Purdy,
play. With the game on the line.
Purdy sometimes he runs more like out of danger than Mahomes just runs because like there's an opportunity. You know,
they are
like that when Mahomes just saw an opportunity there 5 minutes in the overtime.
And that's Valdez.
And this Valdez can't.
Oh man, he's going to lose yardage. Going the wrong
way. The team reaction.
Mahomes' reaction.
Come after him, and they've been up in here. I expect them to drop out this time.
Even though Lyman's reactions were really funny. Then Rice has a great catch across the middle. 4 minutes left in overtime.
From the 37 of the 49ers. Set up a screen for Pacheco.
Another great Pacheco play there.
Is ridden down by Warner. Boy, Warner
and
they're going to mark him about half foot short. 3rd and a football.
Not a big deal now unless you don't get it.
Go up top.
This 3rd one was huge. Mahomes got this. And
goes
all the way down to the 13 line on that run.
10 yards from the win.
Like I said, when you open up on 3rd, Mahomes he's going for it. He's
throws it
running.
to Kelsey in the middle of the field.
And then Kelsey goes full Space Jam
still on his feet.
on this.
And
like,
I believe he's going to have the first and
everyone was holding him back.
Down to the 13-yard line.
He was determined to get to the end zone there.
10 yards from
I really
the
thought
win.
he was going to make it.
Mahomes throws it to Kelsey in the middle of the field. Kelsey plowing ahead. Kelsey still on his feet. I believe he's going to have the first and goal to go.
Can only feel the number of people out there being
and then with 8 seconds left, Hardman.
First and goal. Mahomes flings it.
Cut this year, man.
Hardman! Jackpot!
He was cut, this waved. And makes
and this was the Andy Reid special.
Game-winning touchdown.
This was the Andy Reid special we talked about. He was saving all day. He's going to fake a motion to go across. And at that moment, he turns and goes back Hardman, who they didn't have.
Big Lively.
And they go get Hardman and bring him back.
They all
game-winning drive of Mahomes' career.
So
he's been waiting for. He's won Super Bowls. He's never had it. And in overtime, he is the best. He is the standard.
It was a fantastic moment for the Chiefs. Really happy for him. Really happy for Hardman, man. To think
this touchdown
he might not have even been employed
who started the season as a Jet.
And now he has a Super Bowl ring and the Super Bowl winning catch.
Jim, I want you to know this was an incredible.
So that's the game. Let's talk real quick about what everyone on the planet is talking about regarding the overtime rules and the overtime decision. Are you taking it first, or are you kicking it first?
I'm taking the ball first.
You're taking the ball first. In overtime?
I mean, in either, you're asking me, like, would I take the ball first?
Yeah, you.
Yes.
Okay.
I would personally take the ball first, and the Niners took the ball first strategically in that moment as well, I thought.
I thought it was strategic as well. Yeah.
And I don't like how some people are kind of talking as if it was the wrong decision. To me, the defense was dying. The captain during the coin toss was panting.
Yeah.
I'm like, you obviously take the ball Tony Romo immediately points out defense looks tired. You take the ball.
Yeah.
And for me personally, if I'm in the Super Bowl, I believe in my quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
To me, Purdy has shown enough to where I believe in him, to where I want to control destiny. I want to decide. I want to put pressure on the other team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not mad at the decision at all.
Well, I guess it's two ways to look at it when it comes to like putting pressure on the other team, because some might think that taking it second, kicking it is putting pressure on their quarterback to do something. But I think that they felt that their defense was good enough in this game that no matter what they got, they would have gotten a stop, because at least in the first really 3 quarters, they got stops really whenever they wanted to. I'm not really. I mean, I understand why people think it was a bad call, but I'm not really. I'm kind of with you. It is what it is. He did it. That was his strategy. It is what it is.
But to me, it's like the Niners themselves are presenting it like it was like, you know, they had no idea what was going on and just fucking stumbled into the decision. That
was really corny. They have been acting like, yeah, I mean, I really didn't know the rules. I just did whatever.
That's where I'm like, okay, then you look stupid. You were wrong just because you didn't know what was going on.
That's what's actually made the decision more controversial.
If they stood on it, if they just embraced the fact that we wanted the ball first, everybody would be fine.
Yeah.
But now it's like a weird conversation about the rule. The rule to me is great.
But the other thing is, what people don't know, because this didn't happen in the game, had the Chiefs only gotten a field goal, then it would have been sudden death after that. Yeah. So whoever would have scored next. So 49ers would have had a chance to go win the game with anything if the Chiefs had only matched the 49ers first thing. So that is a good strategy. You would want to be the person to have it last. If you had done it if it was the other way and Mahomes had it first and you guys came and matched him, and then you let Mahomes determine who wins the game at the end, no chance.
and again, like, revisionist history, if Kyle Shanahan's like, you know what, maybe we don't put the ball in Mahomes' hands last because he's just that good.
Yeah.
Okay, but to say it like we had no idea what was going on, we decided our overtime strategy before like the playoffs. What are you saying?
Yeah.
Like, why would you expose yourself like that?
Right. Yeah. So I also agree that it probably was a good decision, given that in sudden death, if Mahomes had it last in sudden death, it was over.
It's over.
Like, they were better off trying to get what they got and letting Mahomes, and trying to stop Mahomes from getting the touchdown, like they did. But but Mahomes did get the touchdown. But the strategy that they did was better off. So then Purdy would have had a chance to just get, all they would have needed was a field goal to win the game after that. But yeah, giving Mahomes the ball last to let him determine what happens after you guys match. Yeah, good luck with that. We don't need to talk about the all-time stuff yet, right? Like, do we need to do that today?
I mean, no. To me, Mahomes is like as certified all-time as it gets now, though.
Yeah.
Like, now there's nothing fraudulent about his greatness. There's no, like, he doesn't need the circumstance to work for him to make it happen. They struggled all year. Their offense specifically struggled all year, and the outcome was the same.
This is almost like the the Warriors' last championship, when Clay was washed all year until he plays great in the finals. Like
Wiggins was like a lost cause at that point.
Yeah, they said the same thing about Kelsey all year.
Yep.
Kelsey's washed. He's not getting his numbers. He's not getting open. He's not strong anymore. His head's not in the game. All that stuff.
Nobody can stop him in the playoffs.
No one. Same old. So, as long as you have those guys, you're gonna have a chance.
What's insane is none of the games. I mean, Kelce either played well or dominated every game.
Yeah.
And Mahomes never had to force him the ball.
No.
There was never half the passes are incomplete or the percentage is not that good. It was like 80% and above completion percentage going to Kelce.
Yep.
So they're just such an unstoppable duo. It's insane.
And that's one thing that kind of separates Mahomes from the other quarterbacks, like other top tier quarterbacks. He really doesn't force it to anybody.
Yeah.
When I say top tier, I mean the guys like in the conversation. Obviously, I've said enough about Josh Allen throughout the year about him forcing it to Diggs. Burrow kind of forces it sometimes, which he probably forces it the least next to Mahomes, but he does sometimes. And then Lamar really doesn't force it because he just runs.
As far as GOAT talk goes, to me, Andy Reid is the one who upgraded his resume the most.
I agree.
This run.
I agree.
Like, Mahomes, to me, is already kind of – a lot of people have already determined him as better than Brady.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's wrong. I'll be honest. He might – he's on the way. But the people – he's really chasing the numbers.
Right.
And Brady's numbers are insane. It's going to take him a little while, but he's on the way to that too.
Mm-hmm.
But Andy Reid, to me, like, before you really couldn't look at him versus Belichick in a legitimate comparison.
Yeah.
But now you really see, like, Andy Reid has been successful for a really long time, and he's not one-dimensional. He's not like a stylistic coach.
Right.
He adjusts to whatever, very similar to how Belichick did during their run.
Yeah. Yep. But to your point, the hardware was really the only thing that separating Mahomes. Like you said, on the field, talent-wise, we've already seen Mahomes play at the highest level that we've ever seen.
Just think about that. He's in year 6, and he's unanimously, at worst, the second greatest quarterback ever.
Yeah.
He's in year 6. Like, that's ludicrous to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and with coaches, it really is just the stats, the numbers. It's your wins. It's the hardware. I mean, that really is all it is for coaches most of the time. So, Reid definitely got the payday with that.
And he's got, I mean, to me, assuming his health is good, many more opportunities if he wants them.
Yeah. And, Kelce moved up in his discussion also. He definitely did.
I mean, to me, he is the best, like, tight end.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's still in the arguments.
He's not like, he doesn't dominate as, he's not as, like, dominant physically as Gronk.
Yeah.
But with Gronk, it was more like the presence on the field.
Yeah. With
Kelce, it's just pure, like, receiving greatness.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And then Gonzalez, like him being in Gonzalez's kind of shadow on the Chiefs, kind of makes it tough. But Gonzalez was just pure longevity. Like he was just consistent for like a long time.
It's weird because Kelce's 34, I think, 35 maybe.
Think so.
Which for a tight end is really old.
Yeah, he's 34.
Yeah, for a tight end, like they normally don't get into their higher upper 30s.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like he's still got a year or two if he wants it.
Yeah, how he's playing, yeah, he's the second oldest in the league, and Jimmy Graham is the oldest, and you could argue whether he's in the league or not now.
I mean, he caught some touchdowns for the Saints this year.
Yeah, but I don't know if he'll be back next year.
Right, probably not.
Yeah, Kelce and then Ertz is next.
But Kelce, it'll be interesting with Travis to see how how much he wants to chase the GOAT debate.
Yeah.
Because he's in that like unique spot of he could retire and be kind of a GOAT, or he could keep playing and like legitimately cement himself as a GOAT.
Right. Yep. Oh, and Mercedes Lewis is actually the oldest. He's
still
39.
Where the hell is he at?
I don't even know. The
That's
Packers,
wild.
I guess. No, the Bears.
What?
Bears. Yeah. He's 39.
You couldn't pay me to watch a Bears game, but all right, good for him. He's still providing some veteran leadership.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on from the Super Bowl. Congratulations to Kansas City. We'll be back talking about football and more off-season stuff. Trade deadline passed. Where do you want to start with trade deadline? I have a couple suggestions. Let's start with Dallas.
Yes.
Dallas made some interesting moves. They got Gafford from the Wizards in exchange for Rashawn Holmes, who they never put in the game. And they also got PJ Washington from the Hornets in exchange for Grant Williams and Seth Curry. Who both, Grant Williams played well for them, and they just didn't really use Seth. I guess they didn't really need him, but they didn't really use him. They also got 2 second-round picks in that PJ Washington, and they gave up a first-round pick, which I thought was... I actually thought this was kind of high for PJ Washington. But I guess it's only as high... Yeah, it's only as high as you use the guys, right? Because, if you don't use Grant Williams and if you don't use Seth Curry, then I guess it's not that important, right? So, but to me, if I had PJ Washington and someone offered me Grant Williams, Seth Curry, and a first round pick, I'm like, are you sure you only want PJ Washington? Solid trade, and immediately they look fantastic. PJ and Gafford both look fantastic for the Mavs.
Yeah,
Gafford is doing amazing, having amazing blocks. The lobs, the dunks are vicious. He just has an immediate presence on both ends for them. And maybe he just needed to be on a better team, a more structured team. And PJ Washington's versatility is just... it's what Grant Williams had. Maybe not as good on defense, but he spreads the floor better. He can hit mid-range shots. He could post up a little bit better. He's faster. PJ is just a very good utility guy for Dallas. And Dallas, once again, looks complete again. So what do you think?
I think Dallas is as perfect as they could get.
Yeah.
Outside of their individual players being better. That's, every team wants that.
Yeah.
But to me, the offense is so easy for them.
Yeah.
They might be the only team, because there's so many teams I watch and I get frustrated that their offenses are very simplistic or very stagnant or just very basic.
Yeah.
And they're the only team where I never seek for them to do anything extra.
Mm-hmm.
With Dallas, the pick and roll is more than enough. A couple handoffs, more than enough. Extra kickouts, more than enough.
Yeah.
Dallas is just as complete offensively as it gets in the league.
Yeah. They have shooting. They have defense. They have lob threats. They have ball handlers. They have guys who can see the floor. They have versatility. They have size. They have everything.
And they're perfectly built around their 2 best players.
They are. And they're even built so well that one of them can get hurt and it really don't notice it, because they have guys who can put up who can score more than they score normally. Josh Green randomly could have 25. Even though he only averages 12. And then Hardaway could have 35. They got, and PJ Washington, we've seen him have 30, 40 this year.
To me, Something that's gone unnoticed, because the narrative is that they got rid of Grant Williams because they didn't like him. I saw the report, which, again, the report, I'm not saying it's not true. They probably didn't like him for whatever reason. Yeah. But to me, what made him easy to trade is how well Derrick Jones Jr. has played.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like he's the one guy, because a lot of their guys, to your point, have played well. But he's the guy who's like in Grant Williams' role playing really well. Mm-hmm. And he's much more dynamic of an athlete. I mean, he's a top 5 athlete in the league in general.
Yeah.
So he just gives them more versatility playing Grant's minutes.
Yeah, he does.
That was kind of the leading up to the deadline. Like, yeah, Grant Williams is playing well for them, but the other guys emerging have made him kind of useless.
Yeah, and his pick and roll doesn't help because he's really not a layup guy. Like, he doesn't take a lot of layups. Yeah. And he's not big enough to really score that well inside. I mean, height-wise. And he doesn't shoot mid-range jumpers. So his pick and roll wasn't as effective as even a Derrick Jones who, can hit mid-range jumpers, is going to dunk on somebody every time he comes through the lane, is going to finish tough layups, and can hit the three as well. And Grant just didn't have that much versatility on the pick and rolls, which would be kind of why, like, a good way to use him, because he's the widest, biggest, mass guy on the team, but it just didn't work. He kind of just clogged up space.
I mean, let's be honest, Grant Williams, I don't even want to say better or worse. He plays very similar to a guy they've had for years, Maxi Kleber.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Very similar, and they already have that.
And Grant costs more. So, yeah, and Grant costs more. So
exactly.
Might as well take the cheap one. Yep. It seems like the Hornets are keeping Grant and Seth.
I know they've run off a couple wins, I saw.
Yeah, I saw a cool moment with Seth and Dell, his dad, doing the commentary. That was pretty fun. But yeah, so looks like they may keep them at least for the rest of the season. Okay, moving on. Who do you want to talk about next? Oh, okay, yeah. Unfortunately. New York made a decent trade, and they picked up Alec Burks, got Alec Burks back, and Bojan Bogdanovic from the Pistons in exchange for Evan Fournier. Yes. Get him off the books, finally. Malachi Flynn, Quentin Grimes, sorry to see Quentin Grimes go. Ryan Arcidiacono, sorry to see the Villanova brother go. 2 future second-round picks and some cash money for Alec Burks and Bojan. What do you think?
I think the Knicks are complete, man. What do you want me to say?
It's a good pickup for the Knicks. It is.
I don't understand what are they, again, the only thing you could say they're missing is individual players that you don't believe in. Which
me?
Not you necessarily, but to me the only thing you could point to as a glaring weakness is players you can't trust.
Yeah, that's fair.
Essentially every other team has this issue.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not missing anything. I mean, they got the one thing you asked for.
Someone to take bad shots?
They got more shooting.
Is Bogdanovic a good shooter?
Yes.
Not to me. He hit some threes, but I don't know.
You're completely valid to question his shot selection.
Yeah, he's
I'm
good.
Not questioning him as a shooter.
He hits shots. He does. He does. The Knicks have assembled the perfect roster that, like, at this point, anything else they do to this roster would like only be a positive to me. Like as long as they keep, like for the most part, what they at least play. Anything else is just like a positive, and they were like this before this trade, because Fournier they weren't playing at all. Malachi Flynn they weren't playing at all. Quentin Grimes played a lot, but he was the clear
easily
upgrade.
Replaceable.
Yeah, he was the clear place they needed to upgrade, and they did. Arcidiacono, I haven't seen him in the game. 2 future second round picks, they pick garbage picks anyway. So they did a good thing, and Burks played fantastic for the Knicks when he was there, and like fantastic for him. And I think Bogdanovich is a good piece. I don't think he's a negative to really anybody's team. He's a good scorer. Doesn't have to score a lot, and he definitely takes the open shot if he has it.
But you still don't believe in this team as a genuine contender, even though they're not missing anything.
I think they're missing stuff, but I'll say this: I don't think that. I don't know. I just wish they had a little more versatility from their wings. Like I wanted them to get a shooter, but I really just wanted them to have someone that like can score with the ball. And I guess Bogdanovich can. He's just not the best at it. He's a volume shooter. He could have really bad games. Some of his shots are just really, really bad. And the Knicks have been doing pretty good not taking bad shots lately. I mean, really, this whole year they've been really good not taking bad shots. And just like, I just hope he doesn't disrupt that momentum for the Knicks. It was good momentum. They're getting open shots. They're swinging it. DiVincenzo, smart player. You can acknowledge
that whatever, however their season ends, if it ends early in the playoffs, it'll be disappointing. But we're not going to be looking at their front office and saying like they should have done this. They didn't try. They weren't as aggressive as they needed to be. Like they're making contender moves.
They are making contender moves. To me, this team is like the depth. To me, this was more of a depth trade than it was a contending trade. It's like we got rid of 4 guys from our depth that we really don't use, and we get 2 really good ones that we will use. Like now, this team is like set up for if they get any star, the team was going to be like an immediate contender. They're not a contender now, but they're like really one star, any star. It doesn't even matter what position they play at this point because they kind of have a good player at every position, depth-wise. That's how I look at it. I told you earlier when the Knicks made the OG trade, I was like, well, I mean, LaVine is out for the rest of the season, but if they were going to go for LaVine, the team was set up perfectly for like if we get someone like LaVine, then we're like at the next level. The Knicks are at the next level. If they got like I hope they're not setting it up to try to get Donovan Mitchell now, because I doubt if Donovan Mitchell comes to the Knicks. But this is a team where it's like, hey, if we just got an all-star now, another all-star, shout out to Jalen Brunson, the team's set up for contention. But this isn't the contending move to me, because both these guys easily could come off the bench. I probably would bring them both up.
Listen, honestly, Alec Burks is whatever. Like he's not that significant.
No, he's not.
Bogdanovich is gonna play a massive role in like late playoff games.
I don't see it. I'm sorry.
What?
I just don't see it. I don't see it. How old is Bogdanovich?
I mean, I guess time will tell, but I guess we're looking at Bogdanovich completely differently.
How long do you think Bogdanovich has left in the NBA?
Probably not long. I don't know, 2 years maybe? 3 years?
Okay.
I mean, just out of sheer interest. I'm not sure how long he wants to play.
No, I'm just saying from his talent right now. How much more of the league do you think he has?
If he loves the game, 5 years.
Okay, I gotcha.
Which you never know with him, but to me, he's enough of an explosive player where he
explosive,
like an explosive impact player.
No,
he can score 30. You acting like he can't get 30
on the Pistons?
No. He was getting 30 in Utah in the playoffs all the time.
Yeah, he was
with Donovan.
Yeah, he was the second best scorer on that team.
And at that we were heavily critical when he was the second best player. He is a horrible second best player.
Right. He's probably a good third.
He's coming in as at best a starter here. Like that's his best case scenario is, he'll be in the starting lineup by the end of the season.
Yeah.
And he's an upgrade over DiVincenzo.
Is he?
Yes. All right. We'll wait on this because, Bogdanovich,
I don't know about that.
To your point, Bogdanovich hasn't played on a relevant team in a while.
I don't know if he's. What does he do better than DiVincenzo?
Score in every way.
DiVincenzo's been getting buckets lately. Okay. I don't know.
I like DiVincenzo. I have no problem if he keeps the starting role.
Yeah.
DiVincenzo's played well enough to where I have to really consider if Bogdanovich could even come in for him.
Yeah.
But to me, again, Bogdanovich is such an explosive. He might not start, but he'll for sure have playoff games where he'll be their top 3 scorer.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
And to me, that's what they lack. It's not specifically shooting that they need. It's that they need a high IQ scorer at a guard position.
I hope they get that.
Again, your doubts of his shot selection could prove to be completely right. That was my question mark in Utah. Was like, what are these shots you're taking?
Yeah.
But he's not. The one I hate. Utah, he didn't have a floor general.
No, yeah. Donovan wasn't floor general ready then, and
Donovan's much better at that in Cleveland.
And Snyder gave the other players a lot more freedom than most coaches would.
Way too much.
He gives the guys that shouldn't have freedom a lot of freedom.
Snyder's making the same mistake in his current spot. Literally the exact same one.
Yeah. The one I hate that Bogdanovich does a lot is and when he gets it to, they swing it to the corner and someone's on him, and he just puts it up right in their face, with no room. Yeah. He can't step back because his heels are on the out of bounds line, and someone is right in his grill, and he just takes it anyway.
Both Bogdanoviches have that in common. They actually, outside of their names being really similar, they don't play that differently.
They really don't. Their last name is the same.
Yeah. One is just the one the Knicks are getting is significantly bigger.
Yeah, he's bigger, yeah.
And it's at times that's the thing I don't trust with him is his scoring. I think I do trust. But
I gotcha.
His size and him being a versatile player because he can be that.
Yeah, he can.
But that's where I really don't trust. I don't trust he'll defend his matchup well. I don't trust that he'll help rebounding. And all those things could be key to them losing.
Yeah.
But I'm excited that Bogdanovich is gonna, to me, be a massive impact. It could be negative.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be. One thing I love about Thibodeau, if it's negative, he's gonna cut it off right away. He'll give him 5 games. If the impact is negative, he's coming off the bench.
Yeah.
If it's still negative, he'll be getting Fournier minutes, which is none.
None at all.
and that's fine. I'm cool with that. I really didn't think Fournier was that negative, but I guess he sees something I didn't see.
I trust the Knicks structure, to your point. I trust Thibodeau to adjust for maybe Bogdanovic's shot selection. I trust Brunson to get him the ball at a good enough rate to where even if he's taking bad shots, he's getting the ball less. If he's hot that day, he's getting more shots. Like Brunson dictates those things very well.
Yeah. He does.
And that's why I love their moves at the deadline. That's to me why it's a contending move. Bogdanovich is going to be important. He's going to be a massive part of their run.
He's definitely going to have the chance to. Yeah, definitely. Those were probably the biggest trades, right? As far as like impact?
Impact, yes, for sure.
Oh, no. Buddy Hield to the 76ers, which the impact is capped because they don't have Embiid, obviously. But, I mean, he's going to be the best shooter on the team right away. He already has been. He's averaging 21 points a game in the 3 games he's been with them. They traded Sixers got Buddy Hield for Korkmaz and Doug McDermott, part of the 3-way. They sent Marcus Morris to the Spurs, Doug McDermott to the Pacers, Korkmaz to the Pacers. Korkmaz, I think, got released right away. 2 second-round picks, some cash. Spurs get Morris, second-round pick, some cash. I believe they're buying Morris out, if I'm not mistaken. And Buddy Hield will remain with the 76ers. Doug McDermott will remain with the Pacers. So it really is a Doug McDermott for Buddy Hield trade. I love this, man. I love it. And I think 76ers were looking for someone else that could space the floor and actually be like a threat to like score a lot, which I think Batum is someone who, he may hit 2 threes in a night, maybe 3. And like that's your biggest worry is him hitting 3 threes. But now we have Buddy. Your biggest worry is him hitting like 7 threes now. You know, and Buddy he gets fouled. Good free throw shooter. He's just a better scorer than any of their other role players. And he's someone that I think is destined to be their third scorer throughout a playoff series, or definitely throughout this year. I mean, until Embiid comes back. I think this is a huge trade for them. I think he's kind of one thing they were really missing on this team, especially since they just didn't play Korkmaz. You're not that high on it. No. This is a good segue from the Knicks one because we're opposites on this one.
My problem here is I don't disagree with what you're saying. My thing is I don't think that everything Buddy does well, the Sixers didn't need it.
Shooting?
They shoot great.
Who's the best shooter on the Sixers?
Melton is liable to get 5 threes all the time.
Melton?
Yes. Tyrese Maxey is liable to hit 5+ threes all the time.
Yeah, they can hit threes, yeah. Yeah. They hit some sometimes, but that doesn't mean they didn't need a shooter.
My problem is you said you said I forgot already. You mentioned what Buddy does best. And what
hit shots.
But what are they gonna need from him? Are they really gonna need him to hit shots in the playoffs?
Yes.
Melton does that.
No.
Why has Melton been such a good impact player for them, even if he's significantly worse offensively than Buddy Hield?
He's a good ball handler. He's a better ball handler than Buddy Hield.
What else does he do?
He plays better defense.
Much better.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Much better. And now you're bringing in Buddy. Yes, he's an upgrade at shooting. To me, you don't need. Okay, maybe.
But you still have Melton. You're not losing anything.
I know.
You're only losing Korkmaz and Morris.
You're putting Buddy in a prominent role where, to me, you're going to need things from him he doesn't do well. You're going to need him to be a more important defensive player. He's not going to do that well.
Who's putting him in a prominent role?
Nick Nurse?
I mean, if he doesn't do the things well, he just won't be in that role.
So he's not starting.
I mean, he probably is right now. Isn't Melton hurt?
See, but let's assume, because it's hard to evaluate the Sixers right now because Embiid's out. But let's assume for the argument, best case, they get healthy for the playoffs. You would start Buddy alongside Embiid.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
See, that to me brings more questions than I'm excited, like, oh, that's a dream pairing.
Well, for me, I think Melton is a really good sixth man because he is pretty, even though he's small, I mean, even though he doesn't have like a lot of size, he's very versatile. He can come in for anybody other than Embiid, basically. So I just think he's a better like entry into the game after I get a feel for the game. Well, I think Buddy is just he puts more pressure on the defense off the tip. Especially with Embiid. Like, my first play would be Buddy on Embiid's side, throw it into Embiid, and see what the defense does. Are they going to double Embiid? Nope. Or if they do, Buddy's going to start the game out with a 3. And if Buddy's not shooting well, he's out the game for the rest of the game. That's no big deal.
That to me, like, you compared him to the Batum role. So that kind of shows me like, yes, Buddy is like night and day better than Batum, but you're putting him in a very limited impact role.
But I say Batum because they start Batum now, and I don't really know why.
And that's he's like a fucking placeholder as a starter.
Well, yes. Oh, you saying Buddy would start with Melton?
I'm not even sure.
Oh, well, I think the small forwards they have give them the versatility to do anything. Huh?
Like, Oubre starts, and he plays really well the more minutes he gets.
Yeah.
So I'm not even sure, like, in the playoffs, he might be their full-time starter.
I think he's only starting because Embiid is out.
That could be. Nurse has played with the rotation quite a bit.
But isn't Melton hurt right now?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, so I think the starters is weird right now, but I think the starters when it comes it actually comes time to like have a starting 5, it'll be Maxey, Buddy, Tobias.
I'll ask you like this.
Embiid.
Because I don't want to harp on like specifically what, how much Buddy's playing. Who's having more impact on their respective playoff runs? Bogdanovich on the Knicks or Buddy for the Sixers?
Right, like with both their situations?
Best case scenario for both teams.
But like I'm saying with both situations, like with Randall being out and Embiid being out? Or are you saying it when they're both back?
I mean, if they're both out, I don't even – the teams are not significant to me. So, assuming best case, assuming they're healthy and they're contending and you're looking at how they're going to make a full playoff run, who's having more impact?
Oh, to me, Buddy. I'm sorry.
Really?
But, yeah.
See, we disagree heavily there.
But to me, it's the threat. It's more of a threat than it is like no, that's not a good comparison. But it's the threat of Buddy is bigger to me than Bogdanovich scoring a lot. I don't even know how much it would be. But I know what Buddy can do. He's more of a wild card to me than Buddy is. At least I know for a fact if I leave Buddy open, he's gonna make. He shoots like third most threes in the league. If I leave him open, he's gonna get buckets. But Bogdanovich could play 40 minutes and end with 10 points, and that would just be what it is. He could have 30. He could have 10
minutes and score 10 points.
I know, but Buddy, if he's open. There's like no limit to what he could score if he's open. But Bogdanovich, he could be wide open and still only score 10 points. He's just not as consistent to me at what he does, which is score, like general score, as Buddy is like hitting open threes. That's how it is. It is for me.
That to me is why I disagree with you so heavily, because the point to me is that Buddy could be great or awful, and it could have no impact on the Sixers.
I don't think him being great has no impact on the Sixers.
I guess like Buddy playing well doesn't put them over whoever I don't think they could beat.
That's fair.
Bogdanovich playing well makes the Knicks significantly better.
I don't think they beat anybody else that they wouldn't beat without him either.
See,
so we just feel this. We feel the same about the.
The difference is how I'm much more positive on the Knicks than you are. Like, I believe in them significantly more than you do.
I believe in the Knicks. I just don't believe in Bogdanovich. He's the only I believe in Burks more than I believe in Bogdanovich.
That's insane to me. That's wild.
He's the only one I'm not. I don't see it. I've really never seen it in him.
This is the
first
never been a fan. Bogdanovich is finally on a spot. Every other spot, he's inconsistent. You're right. But every other spot, they've needed him to be consistent. He hasn't, and the team is sitting there like, man, if only we had a more consistent forward that we could trust. You already said Thibodeau will have him out of the rotation.
Yeah.
If Buddy's playing bad, that makes the Sixers' rotation worse.
But they traded nothing for him.
But he's still there's the threat of Buddy, to your point, is gonna make they're gonna continuously force to play him, and it's gonna mess up their guard rotation.
Maybe you don't have confidence in Nurse then.
Perhaps that's fair.
Yeah, because I don't think he'll play if he's not helping him.
I'm more concerned. It's not even Buddy individually. I'm more concerned that they're not gonna have the continuity with Embiid, and Buddy is like a lot of these guys have already played a ton with Embiid, so it's. It mitigates him missing so much time. Buddy's coming in, and he's going to go to the playoffs having not played with Embiid at all. And I think there's much more room for him not to play well.
Well, this is my last feeling about between these two things. I think Buddy's playing well impacts the rest of the team more than Bogdanovich's playing well does. I don't think Bogdanovich opens anything up for anybody. I don't think he makes it easier on Brunson. He doesn't make you, like, if I helped off DiVincenzo, I'm going to help off Bogdanovich. He's not like the guy that the defense changes anything from, because he just shoots it in people's face anyway. Or he just does, like, he doesn't do anything different. But I think Buddy... Huh?
The Knicks, did they not need a dynamic, exciting role player that could score?
I mean, I guess.
To your point, if he sucks, DiVincenzo is soaking up all his minutes. Who's taking Buddy's minutes to you?
I don't, it doesn't matter. I don't know. Whoever has him now.
We're arguing like minimal adjustment things at this point, because
no. Let me finish how I feel about the difference. I think Buddy's impact, if he's playing well, impacts how the defense plays against the rest of the team more than that happens with Bogdanovich. Like, nothing. If Bogdanovich plays well, it is just a plus, which is good. It's solely a plus because it does nothing else for anybody else. No one's gonna play Randall any differently. No one's going to play Brunson any differently. It's just going to be another guy out there that is getting buckets. And that's cool. That's fine. But to me, Buddy on this team, if Buddy's shooting well, Maxey is going to get open more. And he's going to have more of a lane to drive because people aren't going to rush to the lane to get in front of him. Embiid is going to have a harder time being doubled if Buddy is open on the other side. I just think it's going to be another swing guy to shoot from. Like, if someone else is shooting well and, the defense kind of is looking at them more, then Buddy is another shooter out there. I just think his impact does more for the team around him than Bogdanovich's does, to me. Bogdanovich could have 40 and everyone is still guarding everybody the same way. Nothing changes. It doesn't make it easier on the rest of the team. That's all. I think Buddy makes it easier time for Maxey and Embiid.
I think our difference is that you're underestimating Bogdanovich's scoring ability. Because, to be honest with you, he could lead them in scoring a lot of nights.
We would lose a lot of games then. Knicks would be losing.
See, I trust I trust Thibodeau. I trust
Knicks would be losing a
lot. Enough. I trust how slow you guys play enough, especially when the playoffs hit. I trust your defense enough that he's going to, by default, be a capable defender here.
Yeah, he's a capable defender. Because people forget he's 6'8".
And and this is maybe just me being delusional. And maybe, I don't know if he was playing to get his value up, but he, for some weird reason, was really motivated to look good in Detroit over the last 3 months.
He was getting buckets. As soon as he came back, he got right to it.
He immediately went, started co-starring with Cade.
Yeah.
It was pretty wild. I mean, they can't win a game to save their life, but to me, what he showed was that he's healthy.
Yeah.
That's another reason I'm excited is, when he was healthy, he was hard to keep from scoring.
Yeah, he's a scoring machine.
But I do see what you're saying. The ceiling for Philly with Buddy, he gives them more of a ceiling than Bogdanovich may help, may not. He may help a lot. Mm-hmm. He may hurt a lot. But Buddy provides a ceiling for how Philly plays that I do think could make them even more scary.
So you're saying, yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
I just don't trust the ceiling. It's hard for me to visualize them, being utilized the best possible way.
Mm-hmm.
To your point, the game for the Knicks, the game is going to get stagnant. They're going to struggle to score. That's why you think they can't beat some of the teams is because they're going to struggle to score.
Yeah.
And Bogdanovich thrives in that.
He does. He's definitely a momentum. If they don't have the momentum, he randomly gets a crazy.
Right.
Bucket.
And meanwhile, Philly, I've seen for years shoot the ball well. In the playoffs, they don't defend that well.
Yeah, but I think they kind of already got that covered now with Covington and Oubre and Batum. So those guys, long, lengthy guys.
Buddy helps, and this team Philly specifically needed a slight change of scenery just for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Because they were just very stagnant without Embiid.
They were.
Very predictable. Very random young team.
Yeah.
Kind of play style, and that didn't really look that good.
It didn't. Now, real quickly on some of these other ones, and then we'll be done here. Monty Morris is the Timberwolves for Troy Brown, Shake Milton, and a second-round pick. I love this. I don't think Monty Morris is really who I imagined for them, but he's gonna work. Smart player. I didn't realize he has the best assist to turnover ratio in college basketball history. Did you know that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So super high IQ guy, hits open shots, great mid-range, great pick and roll player, which is perfect for the Timberwolves, which is exactly what they needed from a backup point guard. And he actually just gets some other guys off the floor, which is a plus in itself. How do you feel about this one?
I like it too. I like it a lot. It shows the self-awareness for what they were missing.
Yeah.
They just needed a good decision maker on the court.
They did.
Because they've been playing well the last couple weeks, and they're starting to do some of the things we've been wanting to see from them. Their ball movement is getting a little bit better. They're running more sets. They look pretty good coming out of timeouts now. But you get through their whole rotation, and when they don't play well, you just seek somebody to not turn the ball over.
Yeah.
And Monty's a guy who's going to clean that up. Like, let's get a pick and roll. Let's get a shot on the rim. Let's get a good pull up. A good pickup for a contender.
Yeah. Weird one here. OKC trades Vasily Micic. Sorry if I messed that up. Trey Mann and Davis Bertans, 2 second-round picks and cash for Gordon Hayward. That is a truckload of stuff for Gordon Hayward to me.
I mean, he is expensive.
I mean, like,
Gordon Hayward is still, you forget, he's still priced as if he didn't break his leg, I believe.
I know, but why buy him? It doesn't mean you have to buy it.
Oh, I'm not sure why they're buying it. I don't know what the desire here is.
Yeah.
But they're not really losing anybody key in the rotation.
No, they're not. No. I like Trey Mann, though. But you're right. They're not losing much. And I tell you what, Hornets made off pretty well with this trade and the Curry and Grant Williams and a first-round pick from Dallas. They made off pretty well this trade deadline. Does Gordon Hayward help the Thunder to you?
Yes, I do think he helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, if anything, he's like a much better Josh Giddey because he's a versatile wing. He maybe doesn't post up as much, but Giddey, to be honest with you, often doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And
he was having that kind of issue.
And Gordon, to me, like, we've seen him in a number of situations, a lot of bad teams, a couple of good, winning situations.
Yeah.
And he always has an impact. He's never invisible. He's a good decision maker, always a good assist guy. I mean, they need another player to just make plays.
Yeah. He's good. He makes plays for sure. He's good. I think he's a solid pickup for their rotation.
They got a lot of guys to score. They don't got a lot of guys to create offense.
Yeah.
And he helps a lot.
Moving on, Dennis Schroeder to the Nets, Thaddeus Young to the Suns, Spencer Dinwiddie to the Lakers. Anything on those?
I mean, the Nets, no. It's whatever. I like Schroeder, but I don't really care about him going to the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
Thaddeus Young of the Suns, I don't care about at all.
Mm-hmm.
If he plays a lot, that's a negative to me.
Me too.
And Dinwiddie is a good pickup for the Lakers, but not a significant one.
Yeah, not a very impactful one. Royce O'Neal, David Roddy to the Suns.
Good pickup.
For Metu Watanabe, Base Diop, or Jordan Goodwin. Yeah.
Some of those guys I wanted to see more.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that, like, Watanabe couldn't get on the court, but, like, I know Royce O'Neal will, even if he's horrible.
He's looked pretty good for them so far. Last night he looked good.
He did look good last night. And O'Neal, like, coming from the Nets, I think the Nets play in a similar manner. So
yeah, because Durant was there. So,
but it's not just, even with the Nets' current cast, they play very similar.
Yeah, they do.
To where you kind of have to find your way around scores.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Nets coaching situation, frankly, sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So he's upgrading as far as that goes.
Mm-hmm.
But both of these guys are just, like, competitive.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is what their Suns are going to need most in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, O'Neal, to me, O'Neal's not afraid of the moment, and Roddy's the guy who's just really confident.
Yeah. They both make good 50-50 plays.
Yeah.
Good, like, random, like, the offensive player loses the ball, they dive at their legs and get it and, like, start a fast break. They do that kind of stuff, hit the open three.
And they're the kind of players who, when they make positive plays, it motivates the stars more.
It does.
It gets the stars more hyped.
Yeah. Last one. Pat Bev to the Bucks for Cameron Payne.
I mean, I love it. I do love it.
Yeah.
It's in another very self-aware pickup.
Mm-hmm.
But this to me like validates, and I guess I'm the certified Bucks hater now.
Yeah.
But this validates a lot of my fears for them. The fact that they like needed to go get Pat Bev.
Yeah.
Which means their leadership is suspect.
Yeah. I do think he's a really good pickup from them. I think he brings more defense than Payne. He's vocal. He's more respected. I think Pat Bev is one of those guys that, like, in the heat of the game, he'll fight you, curse at you, bite you, all, whatever. But then after the game, he's just Pat Bev. Like, he's cool. It's all respect after the game. He's one of those guys who'll go into battle with his guns blazing. But after the battle is over, it's just like, we're teammates. Like, for him and Damian to get along after what they've been through, the watch celebration thing, the playoffs they play against each other, and now like they're going to be leading the same team. I think Pat Bev is a good professional when it comes to that. And he's played with Doc before, so maybe that helps, but I don't know. That's all I got. I try to be positive.
Listen, on the court impact, I honestly don't really see much. Like, what campaign was fine. I don't really get. I mean, he couldn't guard. Pat Bev is a good defender, but your defense is not. Your backup point guard wasn't the source of why you can't get stops.
Right. I think he makes good. He similar to Royce O'Neal and Roddy. He makes the good 50-50 plays too.
Yeah, that's
like he'll get a big steal, a big block in a moment that puts them into a different
but he's
situation in the game.
He's also emotionally volatile.
Yeah, he is.
And let's be frank, Doc doesn't manage that well.
No, he doesn't. But one thing cool about Pat Bev, he goes with the game. Like, if the game is emotionally volatile, he's gonna take it to the next level.
Yeah.
But like, if it's not, like the games that are kind of meaningless and that like no one's taking it that intense, he also doesn't, which is kind of, I'm not really sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is kind of interesting.
Yeah. The Bucks are kind of what they are. I mean, Pat Bev is not going to determine their season to me.
No,
even
he's
if
not.
He's good or bad.
They're going to have to do some buyout market stuff, like, desperately, because I don't really see a high ceiling for how the young guys are for them. But that's not really the topic. We'll get to the Bucks next pod.
The Bucks breakdown is coming soon.
Yeah. You have anything else as far as the trade deadline goes? I think that's it for us today. Otherwise,
you mentioned Charlotte. Kind of making off well.
Mm-hmm.
I know it doesn't really matter as far as we get to the playoffs. We're not going to talk about them. There's a good chance we won't talk about them in the offseason much.
Yeah.
The Raptors are finally changing their ways.
They are.
The Raptors are finally embracing, like, we have been an abysmal offensive team in an era of buckets, like pure buckets, is with the best, with the fastest pace you could possibly have.
Yeah.
And the Raptors have weirdly focused on being a defensive team and not even like fully committed to that.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy they have a lot of young players to where, like, over the next few years, they can make a lot of moves. They could wait for their players to develop, and they could develop a chemistry to where, like, they could easily surprise us over the next couple years.
Yeah, getting Olynyk and Abaji in this trade with Otto Porter and Kyrie Lewis Jr. and for a first-round pick, which was kind of wild. But I think that you're right. I think that they are kind of almost trying to copy how the Jazz have, like, built what they have in a way, to me. I think they kind of see the Jazz and it's like, man, why aren't we like that over here? Yeah. They got rid of Schroeder. They're getting, like you said, they're getting younger. They're getting more hungry guys. And you're seeing the energy change. I mean, they have an all-star now, like, in Scotty Barnes. Like,
and that to me, like,
the energy's definitely
the blueprints to develop into a contender are there, right? You got a new coach who believes in the players. You got again, you're playing at a modern NBA pace rather than embracing some fucking lame identity that's, you know, washed up essentially.
Yeah.
And to me, they just, to your point, they have guys with exciting ceilings.
They do.
That's the biggest. Like, Van Fleet is good, but his ceiling is nothing like RJ Barrett or Quickly.
He's as good as he is gonna be.
Right, like, you know, it was a big kind of dispute between Scotty Barnes and OG, and who were they going to keep because they're kind of the same type of player. And they really picked the guy with more of a ceiling. And again, whether that does, even if it doesn't work out, I'm all for that. I love it.
Yeah, and they might have picked a guy that would make a trade for guys with more of a ceiling. Like, I think the Scotty Barnes trades were going to be like older stars, like guys who are already established. Maybe they didn't want that. They wanted 2 young guys for, you know, another young guy.
Right.
There's no like 2 young guys I would trade for Barnes. But OG definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that.
All right, cool. Thank you for listening as always. We'll be back next week. New stuff, NBA stuff, maybe a little NCAA stuff. And we'll catch you guys next time.